Hey everybody. Welcome everyone to the show. It's Tuesday and it's November the 22nd in 2022. So it's the if it were the 22nd month, the 22nd day,
Tuesday,
and the 22nd year, it'd be
and
perfect,
it's
but we
November
don't
the
have that.
22nd in
I
2020.
do remember 11 11 11, November the 11th, 2011, but that was 11 years ago. And, I was a lot prettier then. I had a full head of hair at that time. It was all black. I was stunning. Anyway, that was then. This is now. Welcome to the welcome to the pity party with your buddy Uncle Bruce. We're here to talk about the stock markets in plain English and talk to you folks about what to do on how to maximize profits from option writing. Um, and it should be an entertaining day today. It's already entertaining this morning in some ways, and we'll see how this translates into trading in the market when we get up and running. By the way, the old surfer is back in town. How you doing, old surfer? Brand new gold bagel member here. Glad to have you. If you've returned, welcome back. If you've never been here before, welcome to the group. I'm glad you're here, and you're more than welcome to join us here on the channel. You get to use those neat emojis now, and that will solve all your investment problems right there. Fantastic. Welcome one, welcome all to the party, kids. Ho, ho, ho. We'll see what's going on here. What is happening? We've got the Dow up 116 points. We have the S&P up 14. We've got NASDAQ up 27. So these markets are up like a quarter of a percentage point, a third of a percentage point. This is called in the Wall Street area. They note this as a nothing burger. Okay, there's nothing going on in any heavy positive way. We're leaning positive, but that's about it. This can disappear in 30 seconds. So I don't know what to think of for sure over there. Crude oil up $1.67. I got some stuff to talk about there in a minute, but first I want to talk about GameStop. The story goes that this headline came out overnight. It's now being picked up by other entities. It's being picked up by bloggers, vloggers, probably being talked about on Wall Street Bets or Reddit or other online platforms. The story is that Carl Icahn is short GameStop. Now, there are misleading headlines out there saying that Carl Icahn is shorting GameStop. That's not accurate. He is short GameStop and has been short GameStop for some time, apparently. The original breaking story that came out seems to indicate that Carl Icahn has been short this stock for more than a year. He may have shorted this stock in the initial big time run up when back in January, February of 2021, when the stock really took off. Remember those good old days? You remember when you couldn't sell any shares of GameStop in the open market, when you were forbidden to trade? Anyone who was a Robinhood client, anyone that was probably a client of other firms, there were restrictions. You were allowed to sell after a day or two. You could sell one or two shares only, even though you had thousands. There were people who watched fortunes disappear in their brokerage accounts because the stock went from 400 to 350 to 300 to 250 to 200, and it went all the way down to $45 a share. And no one could get out until it was down to like 150, and then you could sell all you wanted. It was during that time, speculation says, that is when Carl Icahn took on a short position. Now, that begs a question. How can it be that a very respected guy like Carl Icahn, Wall Street known, pretty serious investor, guy you listen to, guy's on CNBC a lot. He's a coveted interview. Why is it, and how is it that, if this is true, how is he able to take on a short position of GameStop in the $300-400 a share range? That's the rumor. Remember, no SEC filings exist to tell us what price he sold stock for, how many he sold, what day he did it. Because even though he has to report all of his transactions with the SEC, he does not have to report any short positions through the SEC, which means we are blind. We are denied the knowledge that a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund operator shorted the bejesus out of GameStop when you guys weren't even allowed to buy it or sell it. And he's been carrying the position ever since. Apparently, again, I am telling you what I am hearing. I can't confirm it. I can say for certain he doesn't have to file a short position. He doesn't have to tell us how many he's short. No one does. Any multi-billion-dollar hedge fund speculative outfit doesn't have to say a damn word to anyone, and let alone the SEC, to disclose any short positions whatsoever unless they want to themselves. Now, there are those hedge fund operators out there who love to talk about the fact that they're short stock. They love talking about it. They want you to know that they're shorting stock. They want you to understand they are short a ton of stock on a certain company because they're betting against it and they want that stock to drop. But Carl Icahn has said nothing. He's been very quiet. He's had no reason to talk at all. No one makes him say anything about it. Here's another little question for you. This one is one of my little, quirks. By the way, Old Surfer, thank you, my friend, for joining us today as a new member. Love having you. I encourage all of you who are watching, come on and join the party, pal. And by the way, I'm doing a poll today. I think Carl Icahn short position on GameStop will pop the shares higher this week. There's been 77 of you voting so far. 49% say, yep, it's going up. And 48% say yes, up, and 52 say no, down. So it's almost split down the middle. And thank you for the 57 thumbs ups already that you guys have popped on this channel. I've got another question. The question is, if you happened to be here yesterday, and many of you were, you listened to me talk to you about the fact that our friend Ryan Cohen did an interview in person, like, on a camera, and that was posted on Facebook yesterday. The link has been put up on my chat from yesterday's show. In that interview, a lot of topics were covered, including all of his Twitter posts over the years. What do they mean? This kind of stuff. And he divulged that he used to have hired consultants make tweets for him, but then he decided to do them himself. And one of the latest tweets that he had done not very long ago is a photo that he uploaded of him and Carl Icahn standing together at Carl Icahn's house somewhere in Florida, because Ryan Cohen went to visit Carl Icahn and they had a chat. And this photo was taken of the two of them together, and it was posted on the Twitter account of Ryan Cohen. Now, isn't this interesting? You got a guy who's got a short position on GameStop. You got the chairman of GameStop visiting him in private, and there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing improper here. There's nothing wrong. The question I have, or what I wonder about, is what were they talking about? Could the topic of, hey, I noticed you're short a bunch of my stock come up? You want to get out of that position? Let me know. I can always take you out. I mean, Ryan Cohen, could buy your position anytime you want out, because you don't have $20 billion of stock shorted in my company. I mean, how many shares are you short? You want out? Let me know. I can give you liquidity. I don't know. Was that discussed? That would be an issue. That would be an issue, because that is market manipulation. That is dealing, dealing on the side, a side deal on a stock. I don't know. I'm just sitting here as a 4'8" tall guy without a home, losing his hair, and what left is white. I'm old. I've only got 40 years experience or so in the business, and I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Rugman over here would love to get questions answered himself. What is the story going on with the GameStop situation with Carl Icahn? Now, today, what's going to happen? You guys want to know, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Well, in theory, today could be the kind of day where a lot of people on the sidelines who read this headline and, get bombarded on CNBC and Fox Business and Wall Street Journal and wherever they read their news, they could find that this Carl Icahn story keeps coming at them every hour, every hour, every hour. He's short, he's short, he's short. That could happen. And that could create a bit of a buying interest in GameStop because it spurs memories from 2010, 2011, 2020 and 2021 last year. It spurs memories of when the stock used to run 20 bucks in a day. And people will think, well, wow, if he's short, he's got to buy back sooner or later. Hey, if the shares go up in price, he might be motivated to end this position right now and lock in his profits. And so the thinking is there might be some buying coming in on this stock today and tomorrow, which is Wednesday, no trading Thursday. Everyone in the world will talk about what happened to GameStop on Tuesday and Wednesday, all day Thursday. Friday, limited trading. We got all called buy wave coming in Friday. Everyone will talk what happened to GameStop Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. They'll talk about it Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Whole bunch of buying comes in again, and the stock could be 50 bucks a share on Monday morning. That is some talk that will happen between investors and friends and what have you. Then there'll be other talk. There'll be the talk of this guy has got billions and billions of dollars to carry a short position for as long as he wants. And this guy is convinced this stock isn't even worth 10 bucks a share. And he's not going to buy any back. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if volume comes in to buy this stuff, that he might short some more. And don't be surprised if possibly a whole bunch of other hedge fund operators start jumping into the party at $30+ a share, 35 a share. That stock goes that high, all kinds of shorters are coming in because they're going to use Carl Icahn as the backstop. They're going to say to themselves, as long as this guy stays short and keeps shorting, I'm joining this guy. And there might be 20 hedge fund operators that each have $2 billion of power, who've had their butts handed to them in the last year from a lousy market, who have their butts handed to them with losses on crypto transactions, who are looking for a win, and they're going to zero in on the retail investors of GameStop and go after these guys. They're going to come after you. Oh, is that possible? And what I mean by going after you is the stock runs to 30, 35, 40, and they're shorting and shorting and driving it back to 25, driving it to 22, driving it to 20, pushing it down to 16, down to 14. There could be a real war going on here. Again, this is what's being talked about. That's what happens when you get a headline that came out today about Carl Icahn being short GameStop. You get all kinds of crazy theories bandied about, and these theories are banding about on the internet, and they're banding about from one phone to another. And then there are those who are stirring the pot to just kind of talk up their little vlogs and their little podcast sites, and some YouTubers out there are talking up GameStop. Oh, that's me. Oh yeah, I'm talking up GameStop again, because that's what we do. We follow GameStop. Now, you can accuse me of being on this topic and trying to generate some views, but you can't say that we haven't been talking about GameStop on this channel every single day since last year, January. So I do have a bit of street cred when it comes to that. This is what we talk about a lot on this channel. What's happening right now? 25.60 is the last trade in the pre-market that I can see here. This is on the Market Watch app. I'm going to take a peek at CNBC and see what the story is there. and find out if there's any, even a mention of this guy on their front page. I do not see any headline on the front page of CNBC about GameStop. So nothing there. And I'm just going to go into the GameStop quote part section here. And it says that the volume is 59,180 shares. That's about the same as MarketWatch, very close. 25.60 last trade, up 44 cents pre-market trading. And content from affiliates. There's a headline that says Carl Icahn betting big against GameStop 2 hours ago. This announcement came out. This story came out 2 hours ago on Tip Ranks, and it just goes on to say that billionaire investor Carl Icahn has a large short position in GameStop. Bloomberg reported on Tuesday. This did make Bloomberg today. They said that he began building his short position. He began building when it topped out at 483 a share. And he doesn't think the fundamentals are there. He figures it's going to go lower, blah, 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 blah. Short interest in the stock has fallen with 53 million shares sold short at the end of October. And that's all. There is nothing other. There's nothing other discussed here. There's no numbers, there's no amount, there's no anything. Because again, Carl Icahn does not have to disclose any information at all under SEC rules. And that's all I see on CNBC's reporting of the story at the moment. The question I have is, will Scott Wapner or any of the other guys over there, the guys or the girls, will anyone bring this up sometime this morning and mention the fact that Carl Icahn is betting against GameStop? Will this break today on that channel? That is going to be the question. And will it break on Fox Business? Will it break elsewhere? It broke on Bloomberg, and it's on their TV. They've done it. It's on marketwatch.com. If you go to the quote of GameStop, you'll see it there. There are several sources about this story. So there's that. We have a lot to figure, a lot to wonder about, a lot to watch. For option writers, I have good news. Option writers are going to be able to probably get even larger premiums on your contracts if this story catches any kind of a wave and creates volume on the stock. It's going to create volume in the options. The casino floor is going to be buzzing. And if the casino floor starts buzzing about this story, about a Carl Icahn story, that means activity level will rise on contracts. And that means premiums to you will get juicier. So when you're looking at a rollover, you're looking to do a buyback and write another call, you're going to do just fine. Here's something to consider, though. Keep this in mind. Yesterday, the shares dropped $2.44 in one day. They were as low yesterday as $24.86. I'm just looking at yesterday's stats. They were down to $24.86. They were as high as $27.83 yesterday morning. Right now, $25.55. We're only up 39 cents here. We're not recovering anything from yesterday's big drop. I mean, this is a nothing burger here. 1.5% move. There's nothing going on here. 57,000, 60,000 volume. There's nothing going on yet. Could it break out with a big volume thing? Yes, it could. If the media jumps on this, two things can happen. The stock starts going higher. The media will cover it. The media covers it. The stock will go higher because the volume will pick up. So one feeds the other. Who goes first? What's on first? Who's on second? Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know on third. There's all kinds of stuff going on here and maybe nothing going on here. Now, as option writers, those of you who are short options, you've written 25s, 26s, 27s, 28s, and 29s. You don't have to do anything. You can sit back and just watch the show. If the shares want to come up to 26 and 27, fine, go there. By all means, go higher. The higher the shares go, the richer you guys get. It'll be on paper. You'll be richer on paper than in cash. because your stock will go up in value. Your deep in the money calls will go up in value. And the calls you wrote will go up in value, but not as fast as the stock is going up. So you're going to be ahead of the curve anyway. You have the opportunity, depending on how high the shares can get to consider roll-ups where you roll over to higher strikes further out. That'll bring you more money, more cash into your account, and we continue on. On the other hand, if the shares want to have a little rally this morning and then peter out and drop another $2 from here to $22, those of you who've written these $25 to $30 calls are in heaven, because you're looking at your calls dropping even faster, further. And now you can do roll downs. You'll buy back calls, you'll shift gears and go into lower priced calls to bring in more cash. And you might come closer in on time as well. Fantastic. So it's all good. You let the stock tell you what to do. Right now, it's moving 40 cents. You know what it's telling you to do right now? Cross your arms and do nothing. That's what it's telling you to do, because a 40-cent move is not going to make us do anything on Gamestop. 58,000 volume is not telling us to do anything as well. We need to see volume. Now, in the old days, before the split, way back in the summer of this year, we were trading 2 to 3 million shares every day, normally, just 2 to 3 million a day. And then when it got interesting, we would trade 5 million to 10 million. And if it got really interesting, we would trade 10 to 20 million in a day. Those were the good old days. It tells me that we need today 10 million volume to 100 million volume to really tell me something's going on. If we can't trade 10 million volume today, this is an absolute dead story. There will be nothing happening. I need to see something. I need to see something from the volume side. I need to see some media exposure on this. I need to see some volatility too. So I can kind of refer to you what I think is really happening, because right now it's a nothing burger. Yeah, the pre-volume is higher than normal, like lately normal, but 60,000 shares traded, that's 15,000 pre-split. There's nothing going on. It's a nothing burger. Okay, so there it is. Uncle Bruce, are you trying to hype us? Are you trying to tell us to roll? What are you trying to do? I'm trying to inform you. I'm trying to fill your head with knowledge of what you should be watching for and thinking about. I'm trying to give you awareness. All right. Now, if you think I'm panicking you, you're on the wrong side of the argument. I'm trying to give you a feel for what you should be looking for and what will it mean when you see what you might be looking for. So if you see heavy volumes, the story is breaking. You see volatility on the price movement, we got shorters and long players going at it. You see a lot of volume and a lot of movement here. That means day traders are in all over the place. They're coming in for a party. That's what I'm trying to warn you against. That's what I'm telling you about. It may not make a damn bit of difference to any of you on your options, because your options were written at 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Some of you've got 25, some of you've got 24s, and you have come way down from the 28s to now the 25 range. And you might be watching the stock between 22 and 30 bucks now for the next couple of weeks. Might. But then again, it might be a nothing burger by tomorrow. So I'm warning you. I am giving you the heads up. I'm saying, hey, this could happen. That's what this means. If this happens, that's what that means. If this happens, that's what that means. Okay, so keep an eye on it. Let's see what happens. Phone says, Uncle Bruce, I missed the morning and afternoon shows because of the job. Can you please talk about ATIP, Spire, SoFi? Tried to bring their average down. They're becoming biggest positions. Are they still good? Thank you. We were picking up ATIP yesterday. We were scooping that one up yesterday on what I call on sale. And it had a little pop there for a while. Although we're at the very end of the day, we had a seller come in and knock it back to 50. What was it, 52? Something like that. ATIP closed at 52 cents yesterday. Trading right now 54 cents in the pre-market on 40 shares. There's nothing going on. I think there's a large short position on ATIP that for whatever reason is not being picked off. It's not being eliminated. I can assume that because Deutsche Bank took the stock down to a price target of 65 cents last week, that maybe that's giving them confidence to stay short here. But I have a suspicion that the stock is a bit overshorted by millions of shares, and a pop to 150 would be a nothing burger if enough buying comes in. Just grab up all the cheap, loose trading stock, which is what I think is happening. We did trade yesterday a total of 588,000 shares. I think on Friday was over a million. I think a bunch of the stock is being picked up by smart investors who are averaging down and are looking to scoop this paper and take it off the street. That's my hunch. As far as other stocks go, yes, love the Spire, love the SoFi, don't love the stock price, but I love the companies. Wavy Gravy, deep value investing, right? I should have elaborated. The iOS app was released yesterday. A Google browser extension has been available. No idea what that means. We don't panic here. There you go. We used to, though, but we don't anymore. Deep value, thanks. I've been waiting for this for a while. I had no idea. Zed Estate, the pre-market gold bagel, was one of the best shows. We did cover a little bit of ground there, didn't we? Going to be a fun opening today. 25.57 is the price of GameStop right now. We're up 41 cents on 63,000 shares. So on CNBC, I see it at 25.70 right now, up 54 on 70,000 so far. I don't see any other headlines coming across regarding Cohen and Icahn and GameStop. So I don't know if on the air they're saying anything. I'm not watching it on the air. Any of you are watching it on the air. You see something, let me know, okay? See something, say something, okay? Thank you very much. And Brittany is saying hello to everybody. Welcome, Brittany. Thank you for the thumbs ups. You have a great day today. Great to see you here this morning. We've got an interesting scenario going on here. Like I said, it could be a lot of fun. It could be a real a barn burner of a day or two or three. It could be one heck of a weekend of discussion for GameStop meme investors. There could be a lot of speculation going on. I mean, if this stock took a run and traded heavy volume, it would be the story of Thanksgiving. And it will be all hyped up all through Thanksgiving with a little trading on Friday and then nothing until Monday, and away we go. Tons of fun. As option writers, you want this. You actually want this. The more, the merrier. And at the end of the day, what I would love to have is I would love to see you folks do rollovers and have the stock go up and up and up. And if it trades at 50 bucks a share, take out a calculator and figure out how rich you are. How much would your deep in the money calls be worth if this is trading at 50 bucks a share? What is your value of your account if all your shares are 50 bucks a share and you're now writing 50s and 55s? Think about how rich you'd be, because you'd be double this price. Not saying it's going to happen, but what if it did? Wouldn't it be great in a month from now? We're between 50 and 60 a share. And you guys are now writing $50 and $60 contracts. I like it. I like it. I'd rather have that than the stock at 10, 12. For sure, I would. Absolutely would. All right, there you go. What can I say? We got to figure out what happens here. We're going to be watching a whole bunch of stuff here going forward, and I'm quite interested to see how this all plays itself out. Tesla right now is up 225. By the way, there's good and bad news happening over in Tesla land. I'm not sure if there's a lot of good news, but there's the bad news is in China. Apparently, they are really turning on the marketing machine in China to try to convince the Chinese market to pick up the car. They are doing price cuts. They're doing advertising. They're doing some kind of, I think, some sort of insurance or maintenance program at promotion to tell them how dependable the car is and how maintenance is not an issue, and on go other reports. But I think price cutting is the thing that caught my attention. I think that the company is in a race to against other competition over there, and they're trying to stay ahead of the the market as a whole, get their share of the business. And I'm wondering if this is going to catch up to them on profits. Other bad news is that the lockdowns, the coronavirus lockdowns, are threatening certain cities again, which tells me that a likely dilemma here is Tesla and many other companies over there that rely on parts to final assemble certain things they make could be in jeopardy. There could be all kinds of disruptions on supply chain domestically in China for delivery of parts factory to factory. I'm worried about that. I'm also hearing a lot of stories about how the Chinese domestic GDP is woefully short of estimates from the Chinese Communist Party. The guys who just don't want to tell you what's really going on because they're embarrassed by how bad it's going. These guys are running into a world of problems. Domestic Chinese spending has dropped off a cliff. The real estate market, we already know it's a basket case. We already know that. It's hundreds of billions of dollars of problems, probably trillions. Now we're beginning to hear that domestic spending, luxury goods spending, and others has also dropped off dramatically, and it is alarming to outsiders looking in. Inside China itself, and from its own news media, all is well. It's Kevin Bacon at the end of the movie in Animal House, standing on the sidewalk going, "All is well, all is well," as the crowd is about to run him over and flatten him down. No one believes him, and why should you? And it looks like they're having all kinds of problems. Okay, I got to talk about oil and gas. Look, you folks have heard all kinds of rumors now through me, as I have given you my latest take on what's going on out there. There have been rumors ramped up about a critical shortage of oil and gas, and how oil is going to go to $130 a barrel this winter because we're going to have one of the coldest, most brutal winters of all time, and it's just going to be hardship all over. What I have heard this morning, which I found rather interesting, was that because of the proposed sanctions against the Russians regarding sale of their oil, where they're trying to put a cap on the Western countries are trying to put a cap on the price of oil from Russia and natural gas, if there's any moving at all. The story goes that in the last 3 months, the Russians have flooded the market with all kinds of oil everywhere they can, in any way they can. They are moving oil by rail. They're moving oil by truck. They're moving oil by tanker. They are moving oil by pipeline. They are selling oil to any and all takers now at steep discounts. Now, this has been going on for months, and in the last few months, as you are aware, oil, even 4 or 5 months ago, was pushing $100+ a barrel. Last year it was 120. We had a lot of speculation when oil was $93 a barrel about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, that we were going to go back up now to 150. And apparently, while that talk was going on in the Western media, behind the curtain where the professor is pulling all the levers in the Wizard of Oz, yeah, little guy, oil is available at a massive discount by the Russians everywhere you can imagine. The biggest buyers of Russian oil are China, Iran, and India, and Saudi Arabia. These countries are buying Russian oil all you want to sell, any way you can get it to us. The Saudis are burning Russian oil to produce electricity. So much for global warming. The Chinese are buying up Russian oil as much as they can get, and therefore not buying as much oil from Saudi Arabia. Go figure. China is buying oil cheap from Russia. Why would they pay world price from Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia is trying to buy up all the Russian oil to get this cheap oil off the market. They have a use for it. They'll put it in tanks and burn it to make electricity for their citizenry at much cheaper prices to them than if they use their own oil, which they're trying to sell at full world price. It's a hell of a game they're playing. India, with 1+ billion people, 1.2 billion, Modi, the prime minister over there, is trying to retain power and is figuring, well, I'll play nice with the United States and other Western countries, but behind their back, I'm going to buy up all the Russian oil I can get my hands on because I don't care what the Russians are doing to the Ukrainians. We don't give a crap about Ukrainians here in India. We give a crap politically about the 1.2 billion people that might riot in the streets if we have to raise the price of gas by 2 cents a gallon. So if we can buy gas or oil from the Russians for super cheap prices and then refine it into gasoline and keep our gas prices low, we as the state of India won't have internal problems. And this is common with other countries as well that are not fully on board with NATO, Canada, the United States, and other friends of Ukraine. That's what's going on. Other issues that are happening, however, it has become apparent that in the last several months, and now, right now, as I speak to you, diesel supplies, diesel fuel that powers ships, railways, and truckers, diesel is in short supply because of a lack of refining capacity to produce it. And the worry now is that in the northeast quadrant, the northeast corridor of the United States of America, the engine that drives the economic fortunes of a good part of the United States, there are shortages of diesel causing diesel prices to spike dramatically, causing inflationary problems in Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, New York, Boston, Newark, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, PA, Cleveland, Ohio. The whole Northeast is under unbearable pressure from very high diesel prices and low supply. And apparently, as of last night, there was one big roadside truck stop on the Jersey Turnpike that shut their pumps. No diesel fuel in stock at the present time. And this is a worry that experts are having about a shortage of refined diesel fuel in areas where it is used the most. And this is an issue that is coming up and coming up and coming up. And so now there's talk about, what's going to happen? Now, experts in the oil business are saying, look, the United States government tapped into their strategic reserve to flood the market with oil and keep the price from going up and keep it down. The United States government is on record saying that we will buy back fuel for their strategic reserve of the country at $70 a barrel or less. And the speculators are going, well, if you guys need 200+ million barrels of fuel, of raw crude at $70 a barrel, we're going to use that as a floor for our speculating. And so we're going to speculate the hell out of oil above $70 a barrel because we know that you guys are always going to be there to buy it at 70. It won't go below 70. You got a big fat buy order there for all this oil. So we'll play games up here in the 80s and the 90s. And that is what's been happening and starting to happen in this marketplace. And there's a lot of talk about, is China really going to not buy as much oil as before? Will India still need as much oil going forward? What about Saudi Arabia? Aren't they getting to the point where even though they're burning off this stuff to make electricity, they can't burn enough fast enough, depending on how much is available from Russia? Russia, the story goes, is running out of bullets and running out of cruise missiles and running out of other armaments to fire into Ukraine. The war front is 600 miles long. 1/5 of Ukraine is occupied by Russian soldiers. That's a large territory to fend off against very sophisticated Western technology weapons that are precision laser guided right to within a foot of their target. The Americans, the Brits, the French, the Germans, the entire NATO countries are picking off Russian positions with incredible precision, satellite technology and everything else. And the Russians are having a tough time, and they're in a defensive hold position to try to hang on through the winter. The thinking is that it could be that if the Ukrainians keep pushing it, they could start putting divides in the Russian defenses. So Russia will have a 100-mile swath of territory, and then there's a 20-mile gap filled with Ukrainians going north and south. Then 50 miles later, there's another gap, and then 50 miles later, another. This will fragment the defenses of Russia inside Ukraine. Now, the Ukrainians can get behind them and encircle huge Russian army positions. They might capture tens of thousands of troops who have no bullets with which to fire weaponry. They're running out of everything. It's going to be a most difficult winter, and you're a Russian soldier, not a good time. We'll find out how all that plays out in the meantime. Anyway, the recession is still the talk of the market. Economic slowdown, still the talk of the market. Fed funds meeting minutes are coming up. Interest rates to be hiked in December. We just don't know if it's 0.5 point or 0.75 of a point. European central bankers are under unbearable pressure to raise interest rates there, even though they have a war in their backyard. There's all that stuff going on. There is a whole lot of uncertainty here. And while I speak about all those tough times, the Dow is up 146 points. That's where we're at right now. We're up 18 on S&P. We're up 39 on NASDAQ. And oil's up $1.20 a barrel. That's what we got going on right now. GameStop, $25.40 a share. $25.49 according to CNBC. We're up 24 to 29 cents a share at this moment, give or take. Volume of 76,000 shares. We open for trading at 16 minutes. We're going to find out just what's going on here. What will this GameStop stock really do? And are we really going to go anywhere or not? Should be fun. All right. What else is going on here? Folks talking about all kinds of. Larry Titus is in the house. Thumbs up 105. Thank you for these thumbs ups, everybody. Zed, number 106. Thank you for that. Keep those thumbs coming in, please. Be great. People are talking about that Ryan Cohen interview that I told you about yesterday. And it sort of humanizes him a bit. We'll see what's going on. We'll see how the street reacts as it slowly understands that this interview exists. And now the story about Cohen and Icahn with a short position on GameStop. The question on everyone's mind is how many shares is he short and at what price? And now that the word is out that he is short this stuff, could this attract other short sellers? That's the question. Might we begin to note the coming to the party of other shorters who are going to want to join in here? If the stock pops up higher, will shorters start showing up to short the stock? And will the short position increase? And at the same time that's going on, the Reddit crowd, the Wall Street Bets crowd, all the Discorders out there going to talk about buying up the stock, cornering the market, squeezing these guys. Is this going to happen again? And if so, is there enough money on both sides to wage a multi-billion-dollar war that this is going to cost? Because we're going to talk about probably tens of billions of dollars that has to come into this market to wage such a war, back and forth and back and forth. And I don't know if there's enough money around that isn't already committed to other areas to make it happen. I do not know. As option writers, you got to love it. You got to love it as an option writer. This is as good as it gets, kids. Your stock becomes more liquid. Your options become much more liquid, way more players, a lot more premium on options, which means you option writers have even larger depreciations to enjoy. The shrinkage will get even more severe. George will say, there were ice cubes in the pool. Ice cubes in the pool. That's what's going to happen. Enjoy the shrinkage. Let's see what's going on. Anyway, so much fun. Triple G, hey, Bruce, your show didn't show up in my subscription video list this morning. Just clicking on subscription. I had to click through to your image and view your videos directly. I had an issue this morning trying to promote my pre-market show. I couldn't log into my community tab. I had to log out, log back in. I had to find another way around to it. There was all kinds of glitchy stuff going on. It's not me, it's YouTube. What can I say? Thanks for the interesting oil speech, Bruce. Appreciate that. Deuce Caboose. Anyone else print out the letter from the 4 U.S. senators yesterday to SoFi? I did. Going to make the victory that much sweeter when it happens. I have no idea what that's about. Larry, Triple G, same for me. There was a disturbance in the force. I think it's the Chinese trying to mess with us. I think that's what's going on here. They don't like what we're saying about. Is that the crypto letters, Deuce? Are those the crypto letters? What's going on there? Oh my gosh, kids, we are 12 minutes away from opening. Thank you, all of you who are here as viewers, you lurkers out there. Thank you for those of you who are subscribing to this channel, becoming subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The thumbs uppers, thank you for those of you giving us thumbs ups today. We love to get thumbs ups. Thank you for those of you who are becoming members of this channel. You're joining this channel as a member so you can comment here. Those of you who are chilling with Uncle Bruce members, thank you very much. Those of you who are Gold Bagel members, super duper, thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. Indeed, we appreciate that very, very much. We have 120 thumbs ups showing right now. Appreciate those of you who are here. We also have a poll question going this morning. There have been 178 people answering the poll question. And the question is, I think the Cohen and Icahn short position on GameStop will pop the shares higher this week. For GameStop shares, they'll go higher this week because of the Cohen and Icahn story. 47% say yes, 53% don't think so. 180 votes are in. Do me a favor, folks. Answer that poll question. Hit the thumbs up button. Give the show a little momentum, and let's ask the world at large, what do you think about this Cohen and Icahn story? Is this going to move the market this week or not? We're going to find out pretty darn soon. 10 minutes away from opening. On the pre-market, Rocket Lab is up 8 cents. SoFi is up 4. GameStop is up 33 to 25.49. I got AMC and Ape up 2 cents, a penny. There's nothing going on here. Matterport is up, looks like 3 cents. 23andMe up 8. Spire down a couple of cents. ATIP 54 cents, up 1.9 cents. The bargain there. People on this channel are scooping up this stock down here and averaging down big time. I think there's a super short position there that's going to get caught. Smart Rent up 11. Sextera is up a nickel. Apple is up 15 cents. Goldman up $1.94. Cisco up 37 cents. Tesla is up 138, slipping now 169 under the 170 level going into the opening. ARC up just 3 cents. ARC Innovations. Microsoft up 68 cents. Bed Bath Beyond is up 4 cents. Pfizer unchanged. HPQ down 15 cents. We got Carvana down a nickel to $7. Tough times over there. Alphabet, the old Google, up 59 cents. And Amazon is up 65 cents. That's what we're showing right now on some of these stocks. It'll be an interesting opening. And watching the GameStop pre-market now of about 80,000 shares, 25.50. CNBC is saying that the share trading is 84,000. Collapse headline at CNBC: collapse crypto firm FTX has about 1.24 billion of cash, but still owes at least $3.1 billion. That's a headline over there. What we don't know are the side bets. We do not know how many times over has the shortfall been gambled and wagered on the derivatives market, and how ugly is the story overall with a bunch of hedge funds out there. We know pension funds have been writing off investment values, 100 million here, 200 million here, just writing it all off. It's zero. We've lost everything. Anything we get out of it is just found money. That is the common move by a lot of institutional investors. They write this off to zero right now and just tell they sell their investors, guys, we're writing it off to zero, and if we get 30 cents on the dollar, we'll just say thanks. We got 30 cents on the dollar. That's what's going on. Thank you all for being here and hanging out. We got 8 minutes to go. and getting ready to start trading here. It's going to be fun. I was in the pool, says Karim. Man, dude, number 120 on the thumbs up meter, Bruce. Thank you. Fabulous, fabulous. What else we got going on here? Yeah, Sell My House is saying Triple G. Larry, I had some same problem this morning. I couldn't find Bruce. Couldn't find him. Let's see. What else? Let's go. Good morning. 130 thumbs up from Aurora. Thank you. I appreciate that. Keep them coming. Thank you, guys. Folks are going to put this letter on Discord so people can see what this letter is all about. Fair enough. If somebody wants to send me a copy of it through my email, that would be fine. I'd love that. Thank you all very much for joining us. 7 minutes to go before we open. We're up 150 on the Dow, 18 on S&P, 35 on NASDAQ, which means the NASDAQ is up 0.3 of 1%. That's all. 0.46 for S&P, 0.44 for the Dow. We're not even up a half a percentage point on this opening. So how strong is it really? How long will this last? 117 gain on crude, 81.17 now, 113 last trade. We'll see what happens there. Apparently, American refinery capacity, that's the word I'm looking for crude, to take crude oil and refine it into diesel, into propane, into gasoline, into other products, has been severely curtailed. There's apparently a pipeline running along the Gulf Coast from sort of Louisiana, New Orleans, and then it goes up the eastern seaboard. There's a lot of maintenance work to be done on it because of the storms that we've had and so on. That is going to cut into supply chain issues. They say, whoever they are, say, industry sources. This is apparently going to exacerbate the diesel shortage that is out there. It's not that you need $8 a gallon to buy it. You can't buy it at 8. You can't buy it at 10. It's not available. There's a diesel shortage coming in the US through the rest of this year that apparently will be quite acute. And the experts are going, this is a problem, a big problem, because there's nothing the US government can do about it. There are no new refineries that will be built anywhere in the United States of America. There are environmental groups ready with armies of lawyers and environmental groups and studies to stop any application of any new refinery in the United States, period. End of discussion. Which means there's only one solution to the problem. You know what that is? Use less. Just use less. If Americans use less regular gas, the existing refineries can shift to do more production of diesel, produce less gas because there's less gas needed. That would bring up enough production of diesel to satisfy the market. Price of diesel will drop. And away you go. If the trend continues where eventually trucks become electrified instead of dieselized, that changes the game plan there. This is a national priority. Unfortunately, most politicians don't view it that way. They view it as an inconvenience to our lifestyle. They don't look at this as a national emergency of epic proportions. And this is the short-sightedness and the 2-year election cycle game in America. Every 2 years, congressmen need to get elected. And the last thing you want to do with your campaign is tell Americans to use less fuel. That's not going to get you elected. You might get Bruce might get some views out of it, but Bruce ain't getting all of his thumbs ups because of it. It just pisses people off, and that's the way it is. But you know what? The planet Earth would go, thank you. We'd really appreciate it. Planet Earth is saying, if you would burn less fuel, we'd appreciate it. We'll give you weaker hurricanes. We'll give you weaker tornadoes, fewer floods. But you guys don't believe us, so we'll just keep ramping it up because you're upsetting us up here in the stratosphere. What can I say? It is just so much fun. The deniers and the believers, the deniers, and everybody in the middle. It's truly incredible. Anyway, we are 3 minutes away. So we're going to see what's going on. Just email the link, says Deuce Caboose. Thanks, pal. Thank you. I promise I'm not pissed. I'm not mad. Yeah, Mr. Premium of the option, lots of talk. ExxonMobil near 52-week highs. Come on, rug man, wake up. Yeah, the only way the price of crude and the price at the pump goes down is the law of supply and demand. That is the ultimate arbiter of it all. And the way to win as a consumer, just don't buy it. Just don't buy as much of it. That's how you win. You have the power in your wallet to control the price of gasoline. But you have to then make choices, lifestyle choices, driving choices, new car acquisition choices. Are you going to buy the F-150 or are you going to buy a four-cylinder SUV? Are you going to get a four-cylinder vehicle instead of a six or eight-cylinder? That's one choice. Are you going hybrid to really up your mileage, or are you going to go all electric? Those are choices you all have to make. Forget about all the political arguments about this or that, or we can't do it with the grid and all that. Forget all that. Come right back down to your driveway. Can you plug your car in your garage overnight for 8 hours and charge it up the next morning for enough fuel, enough electrons to drive everywhere you need to go? If you can, you don't need a gasoline vehicle anymore. You've done your part. Now it's time for others to do theirs. I don't know. So we'll see what's going on. There you go. The average consumer will not do it. There you have it. What can I say? All right. We are ready to go. We're about to start our party this morning. Our friend Larry Titus is about to hit the bells. Thank you, Larry, for this. I appreciate it. We're getting ready to start trading here, and the party is on. See what kind of returns we're going to get with this market today. How is this market going to perform? What's it going to do? Right now, we're still showing a 180 gain on the Dow, 20 on S&P, 41 on NASDAQ coming into the opening. And Larry has done what he does best. He has hit the bells for us every time. Thanks, pal, for letting us know. We are up and running, and we're trading. And now let's see what the party has in store for us. Over on the Gamestop side of things, the Gamestop shareholders have been informed. A little piece of paper has come out. It says, now I know Cohen and Icahn has shorted GameStop. Ho, ho, ho. And the bulls are loving this. The GameStop bulls are going, this is great. Larry Icahn is short. Cohen and Icahn is short GameStop. Oh, we love this. Well, we'll find out how it affects the market once we get it fully up and running. We'll see what gives here in a few moments. Watching to see what's going on with the trading. Oh, man, Susan Shop's about 1423 here. Good day, 4567 to you. Nice to have you here. DQ, thank you, Larry. JR is going, Larry. Thank you, pal. We're up and going. The Dow's up 210 to start the morning. That's what's happening. We're up 210. It's Thanksgiving, day after tomorrow. Giddy up. Today's a big travel day. Tomorrow's a big travel day. Congratulations, America. Welcome to one of the most meaningful holidays in the United States, Thanksgiving. Yes, it is a big, big deal. Homecoming for a lot of colleges and high schools. It's emotional. It is amazingly emotional. When you're a Canadian living in America, you pick up all the little things when you're there all the time. And when we were there back in 2000, all the way to 2006, with our daughter in high school, we realized, oh, what a big deal Thanksgiving is. It's huge. It's really big. It's the talk of the town. It's the talk of the coffee shops. It's the talk of all the moms. It's the talk of all the students. And then homecoming. Oh my gosh. Tear Fest. Oh my God. High school students from last year who graduated come back to say hi to their teachers and hi to their fellow friends who are still in school. Oh, it's a big deal. Oh, yes, it really is. Anyway, there you go. JG, 143 here on the Bagel Gang. Welcome. More people come home on Thanksgiving than come home at Christmas. It's that big. It's bigger than Christmas. It really is something. Yep, it's pretty cool stuff. Thank you all for hanging out. We're up 18 on the S&P. NASDAQ's up 29. The Dow's up 208. Oil up 120 a barrel. GameStop 25.52, it looks like. We're up about 36 cents, maybe. Nothing too incredible. Volume on GameStop to kind of start the morning now is 382,000. So that's definitely better than normal. Definitely better than normal. 95,000 shares traded pre-split. Nothing incredible, but it's more than usual. The question is, will there be a momentum follow through here to take this higher? I do know. Nick is in the house. Nick M. Buddy, how you doing, pal? Number 150 on the thumbs up meter. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Good Thanksgiving film. Yes, JR, Uncle Bruce Susan gave you more than 1,000 thumbs ups. I gotta love that, right? She's awesome. Vilbus, I went ahead and bought back my 12-16 GameStop contracts about even just in case we take a pop. Well, if you do take a pop, you can resell them. You just resell them at a higher price. What's the move higher? GameStop 25.15, 25.23. We're just up 7 cents at this one. My recommendation to all of you is do nothing. Do nothing. Cross your fingers, cross your arms. Do nothing. Make the stock show you for real that something real is going on, because I'm not seeing it yet. I am not seeing it yet. CNBC is claiming just around 300,000 traded, 25.14, actually down a couple of cents at the moment. Yeah, and I got nothing on Carl Icahn's story. Anything new? I have nothing new on the Carl Icahn story from CNBC. There's nothing there. If I were you folks, I would do nothing on GameStop. Just cross your arms. We're down 11 cents right now. No need to make a move. Vilbus, you might want to just reassess the call contracts in the next hour. And when you write your next call, you'll make it work for you. It might be further out. You might write a January. You might write a 25 or a 26. You figure out the premiums you want to bring in. No big deal. Icahn is personally shorting one share at a time right now, says Coyote, just to feel alive. Carl, says Coyote. Carl, how you doing? We're up 205 on the Dow. ATIP is up about 2 cents to 54 now. Tesla is at 169.68, down up 181, but still under 170. Apple is up 3 cents. We're not going anywhere. 24.81 on GameStop. We're down 35 cents. We're going lower on GameStop, interestingly. We're now sitting at 492,000 traded. The question is, are shorters coming in and hitting the market to sell, to get more off? Are shorters now wanting to short here, knowing that the big man, Carl Icahn, is sitting on a big short position? Are they comfortable now to hit this stock and get off as much as they can between 24 and 26 bucks a share, thinking it'll go to 10 or 12? Is that in their heads? I don't know. But the stock is down 31 cents this morning. So the so-called Reddit crowd has not yet amassed any kind of an army to come in here and run this market. 24.75 right now. We're down 41 cents. We're not going anywhere quickly. We're going lower. We're not going higher. The high was 25.54, and that wasn't much of a gain. We're now at 24.75. The low of 24.72 is our trades. 24.70 just saw a new low on 525,000 volume. So, we're trading at 130,000 pre-split. We don't have a huge buy wave coming in here to run these guys out of town for a mother of all short squeeze. That's not happening. We're 24.71. down 45 cents. So your options are going down in value, everybody. Down they go. And keep your eye open for lovely profits, depending on what price you wrote at. If you've written 29s, you might buy them back and write 27s. You might buy back 29s that expire in 6 months and buy 20 and write 27s that expire in 3 months. You might play that game. Keep an eye on all of these shifts that further down we go. If you can make a rollover, downshift on the gearbox where you can bring in more cash, that is the ultimate win for you. Let's keep an eye on this market, see what it wants to give us. 24.92, 24.86. We're going to be everywhere today. The volatility, I think, will be quite dramatic on GameStop as we go along the day here. So Watch for headlines and odd quotes here and there, speculative quotes or ideas from people who will put in their 2 bits worth. See what's going on. All right. All right. What else? Let's see. What else is going on? What else is going on? What else is going on? The article says that he took his position around 483. We can't verify that. We cannot verify it. We've heard rumors that he may have started to short there. Started. But we don't know where he ended. We don't know how many. We don't know the average. We know nothing. Did he buy any of it back ever? We know nothing. That's the problem, Karim. We're in the dock here. We're in the dock. There it is. Susan shops about, JR, oops, I need a bigger iPad like Bruce uses, laugh out loud. He's worth thousands of thumbs ups for sure. Thank you, Susan, so much for your support of this channel. We have now got 157 thumbs ups. Thank you for that. 43 to go. We got 200 of them. We have 210 people voting in the poll. 48% figure the stock will go higher because of the Cohen and Icahn story. 52% say no. Right now, the 52%ers are correct, but we're only down 30 cents. We really haven't gone anywhere here. We're just kind of, hanging around. Let me know what you think on that poll question. And while you're answering the poll question, please do me a favor and nail that thumbs up button. Z Estate has made a bold announcement. 11-month gold bagel member. Fantastic, Zed. Thank you, my friend. I know that Zed Estate writes stock options, and I know how much he loves writing stock options because the reality is that Zed Estate drives his BMW around town, and his payments are made from option premiums for his Beamer. And that is a beautiful way to be motivated to keep writing options, is when you can drive your options around town, your option profits around town in a shiny BMW. Kind of nice. That's a kind of nice, a nice feeling, my friend. Well done. All right. Deep value, Mr. Premier, the option. Yep. It's his fund. Splitter, I was saying no one shorter can give strength to more shorters, and buyers like to wait for better bargains. Well, we'll see. We're down 30 cents on GameStop. ATIP is up 0.7 of a cent to 52.8. We got the Dow down, up now 194. We're down a little bit from the high this morning, but we're still up 194. We got a negative reading on NASDAQ. It's down 27 points, and we have S&P up just 12. So the market seems to me to be backing off on this opening salvo. We're only 20 minutes into it, though. No, 10 minutes in. We're only 10 minutes in. We'll see the next 10, 20 minutes what's going on. 24.80 on GameStop, down 36 cents. Tesla, 168, down another dollar, backing up. It's still up 58 cents, but it's given up ground here. It's only at 168. There's trouble in Tesla land. Apple, 147 now, under 148 a share. SoFi, 478, down 8.5 cents, approaching its all-time low in the 470 neighborhood. The all-time low on SoFi is 477. We touched that this morning. All-time low on SoFi. Bargain time. HPQ, 28.86, down 30 cents. That's come off a couple of dollars. Amazon, 91.23, down another $1.20. This stock was holding 100 a week and a half ago. Now it's 91. Home Depot holding a $4 gain right now. Cisco up 29 cents. Pfizer holding a 36-cent gain. Netflix down $5 to 280, coming back. IBM up $1. Microsoft is down 48 cents. Vanik is up 19 cents. Adobe down 47. Goldman up $2. The Google shares up 65 cents, it would appear. Down 60 cents apparently on Google. Boeing down 32. Moderna down 366 to 173. Meta down another $1 to 108.78. Karim is smiling and smiling and smiling with that Meta platform stock. It is backing off for him, and it just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. I think under 100 a share is in the wheelhouse. personally. We'll see. ME is down 9.5 to 280. Rocket Lab down 7.5 to 424. Matterport down 6.5 to 309. Smart Rent down 19 cents to 249. Spire down 2 cents to 128. Sextera at 188.5, down 6.5 cents, and that is pushing the low of all time of 185. We're almost there on Sextera. Royal Caribbean down 75 cents to 58.01. Bed Bath Beyond is up 11 to 312. Carvana down 35 cents, 670 on Carvana. It's down 98% from its high. Robinhood down 8 cents to 877. BlackBerry down 6 cents. Norwegian Carnival both off 3 and 6 cents respectively. Target down 90. JP Morgan is up 96 cents. Costco up 388. Walmart up 69 cents. Disney down $1.50 now. Reality is clicking in that just because you shifted the CEO means jack squat. They just announced serious layoffs and they are backing off on their returns. It's not looking good over there. NVIDIA down 157. American Airlines down 41 cents to 13.44. Snowflake down 380 to 137. Backing off is what's happening here. The Dow is only up 153. We were up 220. Now we're up 153, 154. S&P is up just 10 points. NASDAQ is now down 39. We are going lower on NASDAQ. Oil backing off. It's up 68 cents, but not up $1.68. We're backing off now on oil as well. That is the story that I see going on. ATIP is now down 2 cents. Officially, it's at 50.1 cents a share, putting it on a super deal. Those of you who have a little bit of loose change, you can pick up some ATIP. Get your average down under $1 and see if this short squeeze takes place on ATIP the next few days and weeks. Tesla 167, GameStop 24.98, down 18, $25 roughly. Trying a little bounce back, not very aggressive, but still down 16 cents. SoFi 479, down 8 at the moment. There you go, guys. That's what I've got going. What can I say? Welcome all. Nice to have you here today. And let's see. Here we go. Nick Demorier. Hurry, another nothing burger day where the market goes all over the place just to finish up 0.1%. Coyote 477 on SoFi. Alberto, Uncle and Bagel Familia. Good morning. I'm here. You can begin now. I couldn't find the live show this morning. What the hey? Laugh a lot. Pick up all on a rerun. Anyone else had issues? Apparently, there were YouTube issues today. Deuce Caboose, Sugar, we're going down. Alberto, I was watching an old show, you know. Lame Duck, 162 thumbs up. We're bringing you to 200 right now. Amy H is laughing here at Alberto. Pulse Guitar, morning, Uncle Bruce, offering to buy back GameStop. April 21st, these 2750s for 150 profit. And then I'm looking to sell March 25s for more money. Right on. Interesting stuff. Could happen. Is that a state, Uncle Bruce? I have 8 GameStops expiring December 16. I sold them for $347. I should buy it back right now for $171 for a profit of $14.14. What do you think? I don't know what I don't know what the exercise price is on these, but what tells me is going on, and you may well want to do that and then turn around and write December 16 lower priced calls. You know, the lower strike and bring in more money. That might be a good idea. Can you write something that'll bring you $350 in cash? So you buy 171, sell for $350, bring in another $180 a contract times 8. That's another payment on your Beamer. DQ, Alberto, get those grandkids to teach you how to internet or teach you the internet. JR, okay, Alberto, no, but Uncle Bruce said he had some issues getting things going today. Sell my house fast. I think Disney needs to back off their pricing. It's to the point where you have to be wealthy to go there. Most Americans cannot afford to go to Disneyland or Disney World anymore. I don't think so. Alberto, hence I'm still the idiot nephew. Geesh. Welcome, my friend. Alex, number 162. Good afternoon, everyone. SoFi is going lower here. Coyote economic data tomorrow. JR, sell my house fast. Actually, preparing for the arm leg surgery would be more appropriate. H. Gregory, happened to me, Alberto. I had to refresh my YouTube feed to find it. And there you go. We had issues on YouTube this morning. But folks are finding us now, and they're giving us thumbs ups, and they're coming in and saying hi. We have 169 thumbs ups. We only need 31 more to make 200 thumbs ups for the morning show. We're always gunning for 200 thumbs ups, folks. Hit the thumbs up button for us. Nail it now. Show no mercy. Get that thing going, and let's break the 200 barrier. There's 170 now. We only need 30 more, and we've got it in the bag. Thank you all for helping me out to get to 200 thumbs ups to tell YouTube, hey, send this guy viewers. They do good stuff over there. These are good people. They're fans of the GameStop, and they like making money writing options. Hey, these folks at least are making money in this market. Why don't you send more people over there? I say yes. I think that's a great idea. 173 thumbs ups are now in the house. 27 left to get, and we've got 200 thumbs ups. Thank you. The poll question is still rocking here. 232 people have made a vote on my poll question. The question was, I think the Cohen and Icahn short position on GameStop will pop the shares higher this week. Not today, this week. 48% say yes, it will. 52% say no, it won't. 233 votes are in the house. Get yourselves over there. Answer that poll question for me. While you're over there, hit that thumbs up button and say to all of us, Bruce, I love it when you make these poll questions. I love making money in the market. I love my fellow viewers of this channel. I think Gold and Chillin' with Uncle Bruce members are the greatest people in the world. I love drinking a cola with a little bit of booze in it. I love ice cream. I love Thanksgiving, and I'm proud to be part of this channel. Now, how can you not give us a thumbs up for that? Well, what are you? What do you hate America? What? You hate America? Come on. Hit those thumbs up buttons. 176, baby. 24 to get. And we got 200 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. I'm doing all I can for America. It's incredible. What this Canadian does to pump up America is just legendary. I don't know how I don't get medals. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I try. Thank you all so much for being here today with us. Love the fact that you're here. Happy Thanksgiving, Americans. It's coming up. Gearing up. People are traveling today. They're traveling tomorrow. I know the excitement is building down there because I've been there during Thanksgiving, and it is huge. It's a big deal. Thank you all for becoming subscribers of this channel. Thank you for becoming members of this channel. We added a new Gold Bagel member this morning. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here and joining in on the party. 179 on the thumbs ups meter. We are inching our way to 200 thumbs ups. One at a time. They are coming in here. Thank you guys for finding your way through this myriad of buttons and all kinds of other stuff to find out how to give me a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. Rocket Lab up 2 cents. SoFi down 7. GameStop is up a penny now. We've got Matterport down 3 cents. 23andMe down 7. Spire's down 2. ATIP's down a penny to 51 cents. Smart Rent down 18. Cyxtera down 4. Apple's down 58 cents. Goldman up 239. Cisco up 56. Tesla's up 21 at 168.08. We got ARC Innovations down 73. Microsoft down 85. Bed Bath Beyond up a nickel. Pfizer up 56. HPQ up 3. Carvana down 24. And Google is down 92. Amazon down 127. Thank you, everybody, for being here and being part of this show today. It's great to have you. Thumbs up now. 182. 18 away. Do you remember what you were doing when you were 18 years old? Do you remember? What year was it when you were 18? Do you guys remember what year it was? When I was 18, it was 1973. 73, 74. The OPEC oil crisis happened in 73. We had just had the Summer Olympics in Munich in 72. We had just had the Super Series in Canada between the Russians and the Canadian hockey clubs in late 72. 73. Oh my gosh. I think I was entering my last year of high school. 1973. Oh, kids, what were you doing when you were 18? Were you still living at home? Had you figured out where to go for college? Did you have a serious steady? Did you ever marry that steady? Whatever happened to that steady that you had when you were 18? Whatever happened to that other person? Oh, the days. What did you weigh then? And what do you weigh now? You may not want to answer that question. I don't want to answer that question. Oh my God. How skinny were you when you were 18? Oh my gosh. Yeah, fun times. What can I say? Welcome one, welcome all. Jen is in the house. How you doing, Andy, Jen?
I'm good. How are you?
Just reminiscing here with my friends here. I was just mentioning that we're 18 thumbs ups away from 200 thumbs ups. And I thought, 18. What year were you 18? 1973 for me. Coyote, it was either like 78 or something like that. My main squeeze, Coyote wants to know. Yeah, did you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend when you were 18? Did you ever get married? Whatever happened to that person?
When I turned 18, my dad took me to the Alberta Liquor Control outlet and got me a bar card because I looked 12. And so he went with me to prove that I really was 18. And then he took me to a bar and I had my first beer in a bar.
Now that's a dad. That's a dad of the highest order. That is a dad of the highest order right there.
And somewhere I still have my bar card tucked away somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably in a high school yearbook or something like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Isn't that something? Yeah. 18. When I became 18, the drinking age kicked in. That's right. We were allowed to start drinking. It had gone down from 21 to 18 in the early 70s.
Yes. It had happened.
Remember?
It had happened. I think it had happened like that year because I have an older brother who was just getting ready to turn 21.
And then it became 18. And that upset him to no end.
So
every 19 and 20 and 21-year-old were all pissed off because, now you're making 18.
Sure.
I've been getting into trouble at age 19 having a beer. Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I still didn't have my driver's license at 18. I got mine at 19.
I had a learner's license. I didn't have a driver's license, but
I had a learner's, but it was so restrictive back then back in the day. I could drive with a driver.
Yeah.
But that was next to impossible in my life, unless I was with my dad, maybe. But I passed my road test, I think, on the 5th try at age 19. I tried at age 16, 17. Then I took a year off, said, forget it. I'm not even going to try. So I don't really need a car. I got a 10-speed bike. I'm 155 pounds, soaking wet. I can run 5 miles at a time as a distance runner. What do I need a car for?
You can't afford to have a car.
Well, I didn't have a car. I wasn't going to get a car. And then my dad said to me, okay, it's time for you to get your license because he was thinking, he's like, it's time for you to get a license and I'll let you drive one of my cars. And you are going to do some driving around for the music store that we have, pick up and delivery and that kind of stuff. So he was thinking economically, and so I started driving a lot with my dad and my dad's manager of the music store. We would go for spins, and I would really get proficient with this little Volkswagen. And then I took my test with the Volkswagen, and passed it finally.
Well, if you can't parallel park a Volkswagen Beetle, you're in trouble.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So finally I got my license at age 19, and I always had a car to drive. I always had a vehicle to drive, my dad's van or the Volkswagen. And when Jen and I met, I was driving the Volkswagen. And so that's what we were bombing around with our first year together.
With that little fan trying to cool us off in the summer.
Oh, and we had to open the windows. Those had the side windows at the front. Those little, remember those little triangular size windows at the front of your car? You turn it in and let the air come right at you as you're driving. Oh, I really love those. I love those. I don't have those anymore on vehicles.
No, those work like a dream.
Those work like a dream. Absolutely. Even in the wintertime, with the inside of the car would freeze up. You'd open that little side window to get some circulation going, and that would take all the condensation out. But that was then. We were a lot younger then. I do remember scraping the inside of the windows. Oh, gosh. I do remember that.
It's pretty bad when you're scraping the inside.
And I remember jumping the Volkswagen, having to jump a Volkswagen. That means you had to open the driver door, pull the seat forward, lean it forward towards the steering wheel, then get the jumper cables. You had to go into the back seat, take the back seat bottom cushion off, stand it up, and under the driver's side, under the passenger, was the battery. That's where the battery was, because the engine was a rear engine car. So the battery was inside the passenger compartment underneath the passenger seat. So you lift it up, and then you plug in you put the two contacts on, connect them to the car that's going to jump you. Then you had to get back in the driver's seat. You had to move the seat back, get in, and start that baby up. And of course, with the full charge battery. But we used to have to also put in the little container of antifreeze, gas line antifreeze into the Volkswagen.
Because the gas line was outside the car.
The gas line was always freezing on a Volkswagen because the gas tank was in the front of the car, underneath the hood in the front, because the engine was in the back. And the where you put the gas in was at the front of the car on the passenger side. So you had to flip the thing open, put this antifreeze thing in there. It was about 4 ounces, cost 65 cents. And that would keep the gas line from freezing up. You had to do that every third or fourth tank. Otherwise, you would have a lot of fuel in the car and no gas getting to the engine. Oh, there's things you don't miss. There's things you do miss, but there's things you don't miss.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the summertime, no air conditioning in a Volkswagen. So it's windows down, side windows angled at you, the vents open underneath to just let air in, and head for the shade.
That's right.
Park in the shade, drive under a bridge that's cool, and let the air in to get cool off. Yikes. If you had to go to a wedding, a friend's wedding, the trick for the guy was you'd have the white shirt on, but you'd have the button down, 2 buttons. You'd have the jacket and the tie in the back seat, and you're just driving the car with your sleeves rolled up and a white shirt on, and you're just trying to air out in a Volkswagen.
And you're holding the seatbelt a little in front of you because you
don't want to stick on your clothing.
And
that's right.
You're so hot, it'll just iron the wrinkles.
That's right. The guy would have his thumb under the seatbelt that goes across your chest and keep it off your body.
Keep it off
because otherwise, if the belt was on, you would now have a wet streak down your body from the seatbelt because you're sweating like a pig. And Jen here, sitting beside me, with a beautiful dress on, she's just melting away. And she would work on her hair and try to get curls in it. And it would all just, and we get to the reception, and you couldn't wait to get inside the place where there was air conditioned, and you try to cool off before I would now do up my shirt, put on the tie, put on the jacket. Oh, those are tough days. Those are hard days.
We used to go to the mall to walk around because they had air conditioning.
Back in the 70s, you would go to a shopping mall to cool off.
Yeah. Everybody would just be walking around, maybe have Coke,
Buy a Coke or buy an Orange Julius drink.
Right.
Get a milkshake, get an ice cream. You'd go to the mall to cool off. That's right. And you'd park the car outside under a tree if you could, to keep the car in shade. And if you did park the car, you did not park the car in the direction of the sun. You parked the back of the car in the direction of the sun, because you didn't want your dashboard, your windshield, and your driver and passenger seat to bake in the sunshine, because those were vinyl seats in those days.
Yeah.
Good Lord, you want to talk about heat retention.
It's like, don't touch the seat.
Don't touch the seat, and don't park the car facing the sun. Don't be doing that. Don't be an idiot.
Get real good at tracking the sun, going, okay, if I park here right now, oh, the sun's It's gonna be in shade in half an hour. This is good. This is good.
There it is.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bill Coyne is saying, making a donation. Hey, Bill, I traced the supposed Carl Icahn short position. It all started with a fake post and went from there. There's no proof that there's anything to do with the short position for Carl Icahn. We'll see if more people confirm that. Most interesting stories.
What was he supposed to, Shorty?
The story is that Carl Icahn is carrying a short position on GameStop.
Oh.
And that he's been short GameStop since the 400s.
Okay.
And it's, of course, now with the split that would put them in the 100s. But we have he doesn't have to report this. No one has to report a short position.
I know.
So we don't know if it's real or not. But my friend Bill here has just found something out himself. It's unbelievable is right. It is so unbelievable.
You report a long position. Why don't you have to report a short position?
I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, what's going on here? It's ridiculous. I don't know.
We're having one of those weird days where we didn't really have a Chinook, but it's like the Chinook is leaving. Our warmest temperature was at midnight.
Are we cooling off all day?
And we're cooling off.
We're going downtown?
We might get a little bit of snow. Maybe
right now, it's 40 degrees out right now.
Yeah, it's lovely.
But at 10 a.m., it's 39. At 11 o'clock, it'll be 36. By 2 p.m., we're back to 40. But then tonight we go down. Tomorrow's high expected to be 40. But look at this. Thursday, they're calling 46.
I know.
That's a heat wave.
I know. We can
go golfing.
We didn't go below zero last night.
Where are my shorts?
That's right.
35 on Saturday, 30 on Sunday, 23 on Monday.
Bring them up.
Next week, Thursday, 13 degrees.
Wow.
For the high.
But that's, you're getting a little far out. That's what we call the wishful forecast.
Thursday is December the 1st.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I got things I gotta get.
We have things to do between now and next week. We have a lot of things to do between now and next week. We are leaving town. We're getting out of here. Look at the Dow up 248. I don't know why. It's just up 248. ATIP 51.9 down 0.2% on ATIP. 0.2%. I don't know. 25.30 on GameStop up 14 cents. 25.40 right there. So we're trying to get something going. I just noticed my big ass iPad is not connected to the power source, and so I'm getting this message saying, "You're out of juice, big fella. Your battery's about to go down."
On juice.
Anyway, there we go. We're okay now.
So have you thought about what you can have this morning?
Well,
got any idea?
What should I have for my bagel today?
A Lego sandwich.
What kind of a bagel should I go for today? We don't have eggs.
We don't have eggs?
We ran out of eggs the other day. Remember, we made all those.
That's right.
We made
so no egg for you.
So no egg. No egg.
So I guess you really want one.
So now what are you going to do?
Well, you could have cheddar cheese melted.
That's what I was thinking.
You could have cream cheese.
But I'm not sure about a schmear, but the cheddar cheese melted on a really nice toasted bagel.
We can do that.
Yesterday was beautiful. That bagel yesterday was so.
Offering.
Those sesame seeds really gave off the flavor. It was fat.
There you go.
They were so good. They were on the corner of my mouth.
Oh,
because you eat them and then they and I'm frantically wiping my mouth on the air here and trying to keep clean. It's not easy.
Are they giving you hints like no other side?
Other side over here. Bruce, Uncle Bruce. Thanks, Jen. Go Rugman. Go Rugman. Oh my gosh. Drinking age. Who needs a freaking drinking age? 18. I was producing my second child. I was on my second tour, USN. Good morning, Uncle. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What else are we going off here? I was 18 in 2016, says Blair. I had an awful girlfriend at that time while hanging in the pharmacy work education. It wasn't in the end the destination point. I'm horrible in chemical study time. Credits ever. Some girl I dated in high school is now selling her home on Netflix. She's selling her home on Netflix. Some other girl I talked to briefly is an actor now. She's even got a show on Fox. It's a trip. Cindy B, I was legal 3 times, 18, 19, and 21. We used to drive across the border to drink in Canada. Financial mischief. If Google drops another 30 cents, my $94 right will fall out of the money. Let's go. Right on. Cindy, I forgot all about those windows. Uncle Bruce, I love your memories. JR, did you have to use that ether starting fluid and get high using so much to get the car started? No, but I do remember on the Volkswagen in the summertime, spring, summer, and fall, when the streets were dry and everything, even if it was in the 40s or 50s, there were mornings where the Volkswagen wouldn't start. The battery was out of juice. And what I would do is, living in my parents' house, I would get the car in neutral, roll down the driver's side window, and I would look at the traffic going by my mom and dad's house, two-lane street. There'd be no cars anywhere. So now I would push the car out of the driveway, and there would be just a little tiny decline to the sidewalk and to the street. That would give me enough momentum to get the car up to about a mile and a half an hour to get it onto the roadway. Then I would turn the wheel and get the car pointed downhill. And we had a very slight decline and an intersection that we had the right of way to go through. And if I turned right, that was called Hazel Street in Waterloo, Ontario. We had a downhill there. We had a little downhill. And all I needed was to get the car there. So now I'm on Hazel Street. No cars around because it's a suburb, very quiet. And now I'm running and pushing the car. And got the door open, and I'm pushing the car, steering it. I'm getting it to like 2-3 miles an hour. And I jump into the car, slam the door shut, and pop the clutch to jumpstart the engine. And that would work almost every time. And now I get the Volkswagen going. She would start revving up. I'd rev up the engine, and now I could drive the car. And as I drove the car, the battery would get charged up again. So, but that was a hint that if the battery needed jump starting in the summer, you're not going to make it in the winter. So I, of course, would tell my dad, I had to jump start the car with the pop the clutch routine. And we would make an appointment right away at probably at the battery shop or the Volkswagen dealer for a maintenance and include a new battery in there. Those were the days. Anyway, Wall Street Journal posted this story about the Carl Icahn. So we're wondering what's going on here. My first girlfriend was a dancer, but her name was not Lola. Coyote, those Louisiana summers, that metal buckle of the seatbelt burned my bare torso many a time. Oh my gosh. Isn't that something? A CRXT 52-week low, it's a buy. Coyote, I had back then approximately 5 girlfriends, which all came together to give me an ultimatum. Make a choice. I settled for my baby mama. We divorced after my second child. I was a child having children. Oh my goodness. Alex, Bill, 100% always question the source. If the source cited is nothing more than the source to say, be suspicious. Coyote, easy big fella. What do we got here? Kaiser Trip. Do you think the Black Friday will post good sales or profits for some or none? Yeah, I think you're right. We're going to have a mixed bag of results in retail this year. A mixed bag. It's going to be see how this all plays out. Alex, Uncle Bruce, it has taken some time to penetrate my thick skull, but I finally appreciate the power of rollovers. I am now hoping that GameStop runs rather than I'm dreading it. I want it to go up. I want to do rollovers. I get it now. Yes, it makes you richer. Interesting, isn't it? Bill Cohen is saying here, Carl Icahn in 2021, there was a hypothetical statement in Bloomberg. They are pushing this as news. It is not. Coyote Splair, chemistry was my most difficult subject as well. Alberto, too much information. I think my daughter might be watching. If you are, sorry, Rosie, I was an awful player. What a way to find out about your dad. Alberto is laughing. Credit Savage. Yes, Uncle Bruce, it's a Netflix show called Buy My House. She and her husband were in season 1, and she wanted to sell her home in Montana. Isn't that something? Coyote, oh boy, I dumped my puts at a good time. Splair, honestly, I'm fine with the stuff you do there, but when you have to do months like X, Z plus Y, then it all has to be counted from milligrams to grams with everything. Isn't too much. Coyote Alberto was walking around back in the Kramer. He's walking around back in the day in a pimp coat. I really couldn't understand why they wanted from me. What do they want from me? It's not like the mathematics we do here. It's all with the numbers you can count, and not with the letters flying through the chart. The credit Savage of Wall Street, not the baby mama talk. Alberto Coyote wearing the red hat, laughing out loud. Oh, yes, those days when Alberto used to walk around the neighborhood just like I used to walk around the neighborhood, walking tall, baby, walking proud. I got 6 kids. I'm 19 years old. Oh, I'm King Poop. No. I couldn't get a date at 18, let alone impregnate anybody. No, I had no problem with children at an early age. No problems whatsoever, thankfully. Although it was close, there was one young girl that really liked me, and how do I say this politically correctly? Her hormone manufacturing facility was in overdrive, and she and I were an item for maybe a week, but she ended up going out with another guy that I knew, a fellow high schooler, and he and her were an item for a while, and within 3 months she was expecting. And she was 17, he was 19. And I thought to myself, you kind of dodged a bullet. It would have been fun to go on that roller coaster and ride that ride, but I don't think I would have enjoyed the after party. And the two of them, I believe, ended up moving in together. And I think they had another one a few years later. And I don't know whatever became of those two. But when the first, that 1 week that I was her interest, it didn't go far enough to get me in trouble, thankfully. But that was interesting. It got me thinking over the years after that about how my life would have been totally different had she and I gone all the way with this situation. A youngster at age 17 or 8. I would have been 18 maybe. She would have been 17. Ooh, not a good idea. No. Not a good idea. What can I say? Oh, gosh. Anyway, there you have it. Her engine was revved. Oh, gosh. Okay. Let's see. Only the most pertinent information with Uncle Bruce here today. There you go. Didn't go far enough to get her in trouble or me in trouble or both of us in trouble. Yeah, that was a blessing in disguise, actually. It was a blessing in disguise. ATIP is bouncing off $5 this Bitcoin. Keeping an eye on it. SoFi is 486. ATIP 53.1 cents. It's up a penny. 53.1 on ATIP. The Dow's up 284. Tesla is 170.06. Apple 148.32. GameStop 25.59, up 43 cents. 25.60 on GameStop. Trying to run a little bit, trying to get some bids. 1.4 million volume. That's 350,000 pre-split volume. Extremely light still, but higher on the day. That's what's going on. Splitter, I have a similar story. It's good to avoid that bullet at young years. It's a good thing. Very good friend of mine, best buddy, high school best buddy. They were expecting, he and his girlfriend all of a sudden were expecting, and they were 21. They were 2021. Certainly, within, what's the word I'm looking for? The community as a whole did not look down on them because they were expecting at 2021. That was okay. But I knew that the two of them were not ready for that event. What they needed was 5 years of being together as a couple to settle in, travel, experience, a new life together. she could have got a job. He would have had a job. They would have had 2 incomes, no children, nice new car, maybe newer car, nice apartment, clothes, stability, then children, But no, started at 20, and the second one arrived, a couple of years after that, and he was in a whole different world than I was at age 23, 24. A whole different world. And, as the old saying goes, you make your bed and sleep in it. That's what it is. And it's what it is. But of course, Jen and I, we were 32 when ours showed up. And so we were totally different, in a totally different situation, of course. But that was entertaining, wasn't it? Oh, look at that, Jennifer. Thank you.
It's
look
very
at that
hot.
melted cheese coming on there. Oh. I kind of
Should I
feel
take
like
this
let me just take a
Still
less.
quite warm.
Yeah. But it is done, and I thank you.
Okay.
It is at the bottom of the bottom. So we're good there, and I'll grab
There
that.
you go.
Awesome sauce. Just talking about my best buddy who knocked up his girlfriend when he was 21. They got married, and then they had a second one, and within about 3 years they were divorced.
Yeah.
And that changed their lives completely. In our case, we looked at that, went, no way, not yet, not this moment. No, we need to, we're barely 21, 22. We got to travel a little bit. We got to get like a wardrobe.
My mother was a feminist. There's no need to get married.
And there you go. And it took until 32.
Well, though my father offered you appliances.
Her dad said, I'll offer you a fridge, a stove, and a dishwasher if you marry my daughter. And I said, my dear fellow, that's just not enough. I mean, I live with her.
Where's the goat?
Yeah, I live with her now, and that ain't enough. That might have worked when we first met, but now that we've been together a while, she's going to look at me and go, you settled for that? Kitchen appliances? That's not going to happen. We laughed. We both laughed at that one. And he did too. He thought it was, he laughed. The whole family thought it was hilarious. Dad's offering
down appliances.
Dad's offering the kids appliances to get married. Yeah, that didn't work.
Go Rugman.
Go Rugman. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I dodged the bullet several times. Thank you, Lord, says JR. Nick, Dinks, double income, no kids, right? Coyote, that is the way. Blair is laughing. The bagels here, Bavish. Why is GameStop going on a roller coaster? Because it can. And I've already talked about it. Balls. Oh, God, that melted cheese bagel looks so good, Bob. I'm going to make the exact same thing. Brian, Vivesh, probably because there's been zero news in the past 24, 48 hours. Coyote, what a neat says Bavish. Coyote, a dowry. JR, what, a dowry? And you refused it? Gas, a fridge. The problem was we were living in an apartment. Where the hell were we going to put a fridge, a stove, and a dishwasher? We already had a fridge, a stove, and a dishwasher in an air-conditioned apartment building that also had a swimming pool, a steam bath, tennis courts, underground heated parking. Dear father-in-law, you got to do better than that. Oh, my. So good. So good. The cheese is just melting. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You take a block of cheddar cheese and you cut off 1/8 thick slabs, 1/8 inch, maybe 1/4 inch thick slabs. Toast the bagel first. And put the cheese on there, put it in the microwave, and nuke it on there. Oh, yeah. The bagel is crunchy. This cheese is soft. Those sesame seeds, they've been roasting in the toaster. Oh, they're good. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, kids. Good times. Lovely. Mmm. Very nice. Very nice. The thing with my father-in-law, my future father-in-law, he didn't need to convince me to take the daughter out of the house. We were living together now for 3 years. She just wasn't married in name. That's all. Everyone kind of picked on him after that, saying, yeah, leave those kids alone. They're so happy together. Why are you messing with them? Leave them alone. Coyote, for centuries, men traded goats and cattle for their daughter's hand in marriage to others, until one day a Canadian man was looking at his dishwasher and said, wait a minute. Stocks and food porn. God, this morning is awesome. The credit savage of Wall Street, 2 million GameStop in less than an hour. Okay, let's see what's going on. Brian, Uncle Bruce, there are gluten-free sausage patties and what is it? And something for a decent price. They fit perfectly on a bagel for a nice Sammy. I used to do bagel bottom, sausage, egg, cheese, butter, bagel top. Delish. Tiff, my quote says 1.57 million. Brian, Tiff, yeah, big volume for GameStop when comparing the last few months. There you go. That's true. I'm showing GameStop now at 25.84, up 68 cents on the volume. 1.6 million, just under 1.6 million at the moment. Okay. Over on CNBC, they're showing 25.84, up 68 cents on 1.47 million. So they're not giving us anything more earth-shattering there. And we got nothing new on any headlines on CNBC on GameStop. Nothing from that, and at least on the website, unless you folks see something on the air. ATIP's up a penny to 53.1. Tesla back to 169, dropping off again. Apple 148. GameStop 25.84, up 68 cents. The high and low for GameStop today. Looks like we're near the high now. 25.99. Looks like we're trying to get to 26 now. 25.99 high of the day on GameStop. I'm trying to get my big ass iPad to stop screwing around. Just refresh. 26.01 high of the day on GameStop right now. 86 cents higher at the moment. Well, that's great. Go to 40 bucks. Go ahead. Just take it. We'll roll it up there. We'll roll up. It's okay. No prob. It's okay. Oh, sorry. At Costco, says Brian. Tiff, I wonder if he should buy my December. I wonder if I should buy back my 2 December $26 calls before they're in the money. But my gut feeling says just cross the arms and write it out. Yeah. Just wait for now. No rush to do anything. Now here's the bottom of the bagel. Toasted. Look at those sesame seeds. They are roasted now with the cheese melting here on the top. I mean, we're talking really good stuff here. One mistake you don't make. You have to make sure when you toast the bagel to begin with, it's got to be crispy on the inside and crunchy on the outside. It's got to be almost burned. Almost. You got to really keep an eye on it. The toaster settings are different for every toaster and wherever you live. The thickness of the bagel when you slice it in half, all that in consideration. But if you toast it just right, those sesame seeds become a totally different tasting item. Because under toasted sesame seed bagels, you're just warming up soft sesame seeds, and they're not going to taste like anything. But if you can get them to roast like these when they toast up, oh, that adds another dimension. Mm-hmm. Mm. This takes us to another level. Here's the good news. If you truly, honestly want to become a prolific option writer, you will become a prolific toaster of sesame seed bagels. You'll have the time to experiment this because your phone will be with you in the kitchen while you're doing this right here. You're keeping an eye on the stock. You got me on your TV. You're watching what's going on here. You will become a prolific toaster of bagels, and you will enjoy gourmet breakfasts like this. Mm, mm, mm. Oh my. Mm. Look at the GameStop. 26.30 up 114. Here we go. Fake story or what? What is going on with this GameStop story? We're an hour into the day. 1.8 million volume. That's it. 26.32 is the high. 26.29 right now. Here we go. We're trading, baby. We's bees tradings. That's what's going on here. 26.31 last trade, high of the day, 26.32. We're up 268 on the Dow. We're up 25 on S&P. We're up 32 on NASDAQ. The NASDAQ and the S&P are behind the Dow. That's not usually the case. Oh, my, 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 my. China's 3-week COVID case tally tops 253,000 and daily average is rising, the government says, in China. Problems in China on COVID numbers. Interesting. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Sometimes a lovely little thing like this can make the stock market much more easy to accept and handle. This is psychologically the best, one of the best things you can do for yourself. The comfort food, the good stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I remember as about a 25-year-old, 24-year-old stockbroker, I started at about age 23, 24, became manager at age 28, 29. So maybe when I was 26, 25, 26. There was one year, it was a bad year. Oh, it was a bad market. And I was just a salesman, like a whole bunch of other salesmen. And my clients who had been doing really well the year before were not doing well this year. A quarter of my clients got laid off. They had to sell everything they had to pay bills, trying to avoid bankruptcy. They sold their cars. They downgraded on their houses. I mean, they did anything they could to survive, which did not help me because it took me out of the business, took me out of making a decent living. The other 3/4 of my clients were nervous about losing their jobs. I mean, it was just not a good environment. So, I mean, I was calling clients to try to reassure them it's going to be all right, but I had no evidence to support that notion. So we had to have faith. Well, when all your relatives and friends and people you know are suffering and losing their houses and stuff, not good. So I was starving as a broker because I couldn't get clients that had any cash to invest. In the meantime, I'm in this office. It's a new brokerage firm, and I'm the new kid in there. I'm one of the new guys. And there were a couple of brokers in there who were, they've been around for 10, 15 years, and they had built a pretty sizable book. And they too were hurting, but they were still going to make $200,000 this year. They weren't going to make $1 million, but they were going to make 200 grand. And I was going to make $15,000 this year. This would be like the early 80s. And I remember these guys, there'd be about half a dozen of these guys. And they weren't being mean or anything. They weren't being show-offy. They weren't trying to show us guys who are starving that they had a mean streak in them. But they would order in food. Because they were busy guys. When the markets went down and you were, really down and out, you were on the phone, and I was too. I was on the phone like crazy, trying to rustle up business. That's how I kept my job. Well, these guys were busy to build their business back up to $1 million a year, and they didn't leave their desks at lunchtime unless they had an appointment. So they would order in food, and oh man, all the local restaurants around us, we all knew who did what. And some of these guys would haul in these, pastrami sandwiches, corned beef on rye, with coleslaw and some potato salad. And the next day would be fried chicken. The next day would be ribs for lunch in the office to go. And the smell, you could smell this food coming in, and I'm brown bagging it. I mean, Jennifer and I are cutting back. We are living off of Jennifer's salary, which is just enough to cover the basics. Whatever I can bring in is like a little gravy. And I'm bagging it these days. And here you're smelling this food. Oh, heavenly. It had to have been a year where Jen and I almost didn't go out to eat at a restaurant, like at a nice restaurant. Was a year. Maybe McDonald's once in a while. But when we went to have a nice meal, we went to her parents' place. Went to mom and dad's. Yes, we did that. But I remember those days. Oh my gosh. Could not afford to order in lunch. That was a dream. That was a dream again, man. Early days. Early days. So good. This is so good. Okay. Vertical. Microwave with a grill in it. Oh, yeah. It sounds like my entire life. This is what this sounds like. We're up 269 on the Dow. ATIP is up 1.2 cents. Tesla 168.50. Apple 148.30. GameStop 25.95. We backing off from 26.32. Yummy. There's interesting headlines coming out about oil. The last several days have been most interesting regarding oil. Just see a headline right now on Barron's that says oil rises in price as OPEC reaffirms commitment to output cuts. Okay. Yesterday we were reading stories that OPEC was going to increase production. Now we hear, no, 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 no. We're going to decrease production like we said we would. So good. So good. Now, keep in mind what OPEC says and what OPEC does rarely jives. It really doesn't jive very often. They'll put on the big show in Vienna, but no one believes them. It's like trying to herd cats. Gamestop coming back up again. 26.05. Thank you all for tolerating my bagel chomping today. The OPEC thing. They'll say one thing, and they're doing something completely different. We're aware of the fact. The world is well aware of the fact that now for the last 6 months, 8 months, OPEC has not been able to produce enough oil as a group to meet their production numbers. Then they had a meeting a month or two ago to announce a cutback, 2 million barrels a day, cutback on production. The problem and the reality is they were producing 3.8 million barrels too little. They were under their official production quota by 3.8 million barrels. So by cutting it 2 million barrels officially, the experts are saying, well, that means that they're now going to be 1.8 million barrels short of their production quota instead of 3.8. And the reason they're short is not because Nigeria and Ethiopia or Angola, whatever these countries are that are part of OPEC, these basket case countries like Venezuela and other countries that are part of OPEC, these guys are, they're so bad off when it comes to their corruption payments, bribes, all the IOUs they have to their military junta leaders and so on, to keep their, keep the 1% living the dream of 1% lifestyle while the rest of the country starves to death. Look, these guys are so inept that they would rather not produce enough oil and just take the bribes from the money that's coming in now with an 85% production rate rather than hold off on the bribe money for like a month or two. Let us put some dough into the oil fields and ramp up production up to 100%. We're allowed to produce 800,000 barrels a day more if we want to. And we'll sell that into the market. We'll have way more money coming in. That'll take care of the bribes and some money to the coffers of the government. These top guys going, no, it's my turn to get bribe money. I'm not waiting. I waited for this one guy to die at age 68. He died of over indigestion because he just, drank himself and ate himself to death on all the excesses of the Western world. Now it's my turn. So now I want my money now. I'm not waiting 6 months to get my money. I want it now. This is a common tale within countries that are corrupt as all get up. They're not going to invest in the infrastructure. And so the poor, of course, complain, but they are careful to whom and how, because every corner are military guys with AK-47s ready to take out any dissenters, because the army is paid by oil royalty money. And the captains and corporals and generals and admiral, all these top, all of these lackeys going up, the guys with the 55 million medals that have never won a war ever, these guys, they're getting the big money, and all their underlings also are being paid a very comfortable lifestyle. But again, it adds up to 1 or 2% of the entire population. So you've got, the army, which is made up of 5% of the population, suppressing the millions of slaves inside that country. And street lights don't work very well. Street lights, like red lights, yellow lights, are kind of working. Potholes everywhere. Infrastructure is a joke. But these top enders are living well because they can afford a generator in their mansion. They've got the big spread with the wall all around it. They've got generators inside there with big tanks to hold their diesel fuel to power up their generators and keep everything air conditioned. They have a villa in the French Riviera. They have a flat in London, and they shop at Harrods, and they have a lovely time. And their kids go to the best schools, and there's nothing to see here. There's no problems here with our country. This is the normal. And OPEC talks about cutting production. They have no production to cut. They want to increase production. They have no increase to increase. Saudi Arabia can somewhat adjust their taps. That's about it. Maybe UAE a little, Oman a little, but no. That's the reality of the oil and gas market. The OPEC thing is a joke, and it is a complete mishmash, a complete mess. Why wouldn't Saudi Arabia invest in Venezuela's oil fields and get that up to speed and help them get into production? Why wouldn't Saudi Arabia come into to Angola and to Cote d'Ivoire, and you name all the OPEC countries that are just garbage, and help these guys out by improving, because they too are so corrupt. They don't need to help their pals. Why would Saudi Arabia give up position as the number one player? And do you think the Saudis are going to trust the Venezuelans to be paid back? How's that going to happen? And that government over there is going to label them a foreign spies. There's no way. So you got countries that don't want outside help because they've got this game going inside their little border. They don't want anyone else in on it. And you got this loosey-goosey organization of countries that are just a joke when it comes to their human rights record, their idea of fair play in the corporate marketplace. They nationalize any business that makes money. They nationalize it and then pay bribes from all the profits on that entity to their top 2% of their population. It's a game that doesn't end. And the outside world, like Germany, France, the United States, Canada, we don't go in there. We do not go in there with investments to help these people, because we know that if we donate bags of wheat to these countries, we know that those bags of wheat now end up on the black market, because from the ship to the dock to the warehouse, there are 5 guys that are buying that wheat and rice and barley and canola, and it now goes into the black market. It gets debagged and rebagged and packaged, and now is sold in small quantities to the very, very poor. They can buy just enough wheat to get by another week on. And Canada knows it. The United States knows it. The United Nations knows it. It's the oldest game in town. And the guys who are the fattest, the ones who have the best bellies, the ones who have the healthiest families, are the top military players, the top half of the military who dominate the game. And they're the ones who can afford to stock their fridges and freezers and pantries with the finest of products. And that stuff is flown in. It isn't brought in by ship. That is flown in on private chartered type planes, paid for in advance in cash from wherever those planes are coming from. And that product is dropped off under armed guard to the top 5%, and then that plane flies out and gets another load and brings it back. The population at large has no say in anything. Welcome to Myanmar. Welcome to many countries in the world that now run by military juntas, and where hundreds of millions of people are trapped as collateral, as slave labor inside their own countries, and their passports are useless to get them out. They can't get out. They can't get a passport. Haven't got enough bribe money to get a passport to get out. Forget that. Interesting how this world works. GameStop 26.30, up $1.14 right now. The Dow is up 272 right now. And the world continues to turn with all kinds of hopes, wishes, dreams, and aspirations. Option writers unite. Do not fear any upside. Enjoy upside if you get it. And say, thank you, sir. May I have another? Our friend Vilbas, who bought back his calls this morning, might now be vindicated somewhat, a little. He might be able to write the same calls he bought back this morning for more money and retake his position all over again. He might write January contracts for the same strike price for even more money than what he bought his calls back for. And at the end of the afternoon, Vilbas could be richer in his account with more cash and still sitting on an option position. Isn't that funny how this market works sometimes? It really is funny how this works. Mirko, 200 thumbs ups. Come on, you guys. Help Bruce out. We have 204 thumbs ups right now. Nazareth, thank you, Nazareth, for this notification. 20 months a member of this channel. Thanks for everything else, Bruce. On vacation this week, so I will be sporadic in attendance, but wanted to let you know that we all appreciate you. Well, Nazareth, those are kind words. I really appreciate it when you guys do these postings. Bill Coyne, by the way, thank you, Bill, for the two $5 donations today. I appreciate that. BW is saying, I'm a member for 20 months. Thanks for teaching us the options world. My eyes have been opened, not just for wishes and dreams, but for a knowledge base to change our lives. Thanks, Uncle Bruce and Auntie Jen. You are entirely welcome, my friend. I am so glad you are here. You have learned a lot in a short time frame. Zed Estate, 11 months, Gold Bagel member. Fabulous, Zed. I love it. I love that you're here and that you're driving your option profits inside that BMW. I love it a lot. Thank you all so much. We've got the poll results now. 276 people have voted on the poll today. 48% are going to guess that GameStop's going to pop sometime this week versus 52% saying it will not because of the Cohen and Icahn story, the short position that's being reported out there. Well, the shares are up $1.24 to $26.40. This is kind of the high of the day. $26.44. We're up there. So the 48 percenters are right. I don't know if they'll stay right, but they seem to be right. But I tell you guys, those of you out there who have adopted the new game in town, which is called, you think I should roll over my contracts to a higher price? I'll do it. I congratulate you folks. You have figured out how this now game works for you, no matter which way this market wants to go. We're up 300 points on the Dow. If this GameStop wants to go to $28, $29, that's okay. You'll roll up your contracts and take more money off the table. Wants to go to 30, 32, you'll roll up your contracts and take more money off the table. You will be paid for price appreciation. You'll get a higher strike price. You'll get more money in your account. You might be able to pick up additional in-the-money calls, write more calls, get yourselves a nice raise, change your life for the better. I'm excited for you. I can tell you right now that if the shares want to go to 40, 45, or 50 in the next 3 months, many of you who are here right now are sitting on 300, 500, 800, 1,000 shares. You got 1,000 shares at GameStop and they're trading at $50 a share. You got 50 grand worth of stock. Right now, you got 26 grand worth of stock. Okay. You got 50 grand worth of stock and you're writing 10 calls at a time. You're going to be starting to haul in $5, $6, $7 a contract when you write calls. You're bringing in $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 probably every month. You're going to hold on to almost all of that. You guys are going to do very, very, very well. Some of you may decide that the time will come where you are going to sell your GameStop shares, turn right around and buy deep in the money calls instead, because you figured out I can go from 1,000 shares to 20 deep in the money calls. I can, instead of writing 10 calls, I can write 20 calls. And when I write 20 $6 contracts at a time, I bring in $12,000. I need $5,000 to live on every month. That's how much I clear from my work or my wife and I together, however it works. We need $5,000 a month to live. If I'm bringing in 12,000, I need to buy back those calls for less than $7,000 every 30 days to have that kind of cash flow, to net out 5 or more. And many of you are going to figure out, oh my God, I can do this every 2 weeks. I'm pulling in $5,000 every 14 days. That's 10,000 a month coming in here. We need 5 to live on. The other 5 can go back in this market and buy additional deep in the money calls to write more calls. I'm getting a 5 to 10% raise every month, writing more calls and more calls and more calls and more calls. That is what's beginning to happen around here again and again and again. I commend you for taking the challenge to change your lives. You're on your way. You've deserved it. You've earned it. You've studied this. You've taken my classes. You're still taking my classes. You're getting a hold of me for one-on-ones. I'm excited for all of you, how this is changing your lives. It is charging us. Jennifer and I are so charged up about this. We are amazed at how this channel and its viewers have transformed themselves in the last year. It's been incredible. And in the last 90, 120 days, the speed of change is lightning fast. This market is giving you tremendous opportunities to score some nice profits. Well done, all of you, whether you're in Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, Canada, the USA, anywhere in the Caribbean, South America, Asia. It doesn't matter where you are. It's a global thing that can be done. And I'm also really tickled about how many of you seem to be on holidays now. So many of you are on vacation, and you're in touch with us, letting us know we're in Italy, we're in France, we're in here, we're over here, we're doing it. I'm trading from here. I'm trading from here. I made money today, rolling over my contracts today. I love it, Bruce. I'm on a vacay and I'm making money. There will be more money in my account waiting for me when I get back after the vacation is over. I will be richer than before I left for the vacation. That's never happened before, because many a time you guys have saved, took the vacation, and you get back and you're broke. Now you come back and you go, I have even more money. I'm even richer than before I left on my vacay. When are we doing the next one? And that is a whole different ballgame for you guys. You've never had to do that before. You've never had to think about, well, we can go on 3 vacations a year. We can go on 5 a year. Had no idea we could do this every 2 months, go on another vacation. Now it's a matter of holding off on how many we're going to do rather than hoping to get one. It's a whole different ball game. I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining me today. And I sure hope you guys are having fun today. Mandu, thank you, pal. Just in case, I wish you all a relaxed break after the show. Thank you guys for being here. We have got now 211 thumbs ups. If you can hit that thumbs up button, any of you guys, please help us out. Let's get more thumbs ups in here. 282 votes are in now about GameStop going up because of the Carl Icahn story. 48% saying it's going up. 52% saying it's not. 282 votes are in. It's going up. So far, it is higher. We'll see if this lasts. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your morning. I will catch up with you this afternoon for the final hour of trading today at 3 o'clock Eastern. We'll shut the market down together this afternoon. 53.2 on that ATIP, by the way. Those of you nibbling it up around 50, 51, 52, it's just being bought here. It's trading here. It's not going down. 114,000 volume. There's no selling coming in. I think there's a huge short position that is praying that a whack of stocks coming in for sale, and it's not happening. There are people nibbling it up as it comes in, and I think these short sellers are going to get squeezed. It's not going to $20 a share, but if it goes to $1.50 to $2, and you guys got your average under $1, you can now write those 250 calls, maybe haul in 50 cents a piece, 60 cents a piece, and buy up all the stock you can get your hands on and write even more contracts. Could have some real fun here with ATIP. We'll see how this plays out. Okay, guys, I got to go. Got to get a break in right now. Thank you, everybody. John, thank you, my friend. Kent, we're in Vegas at the Palazzo for the week. We're meeting up with friends from all over. Of course, the kid brought the golf clubs. The grind continues. Always practicing. But Top Golf makes it fun. Right on. Way to go, Kent. You got to love that. A little trip today is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Folks, thank you all for joining me today. Jennifer, thanks you again. All the donations you've made to her operation, thank you so much for all that. Small donations, medium, large. It's been mind-numbingly incredible. We thank you. 272 is the gain on the Dow. We'll keep an eye on that. 2606 on GameStop, up 90 cents. We will keep an eye on that. 488 on SoFi, just up 1 cent now. Go, SoFi, go. Thank you all for joining in. I'll catch you at 3 this afternoon, and we'll finish the day together and enjoy the rest of this week with Thanksgiving coming up, okay? Talk to you soon, all. Bye for now from Calgary. Oh, we're having fun now.